See, if you've been a targeted individual for some time now, over time throughout your targeting, you'll see how much law enforcement is really involved in this form of organized stalking and harassment, or just different types of surveillance and proxy stalking. And I understand that there are groups of interest like InfraGard and community-based agents and community watch groups, but at the same time, a lot of it ties into law enforcement, and then it goes higher than that. But once you been through this for some time, you just really see the patterns, how like something like this couldn't just be organized by regular people. And the thing about organized stalking and gang stalking is it'll make you really look at the system and this world and society like through a different lens, because you'll see how not only is law enforcement involved in obviously fusion centers and higher agencies and governmental departments, but it'll make you realize how many of these sort of authorities are connected to like secret society groups such as Freemasons, Eastern Stars, different fraternal orders, the Fraternal Order of Police. You'll start to see how it's like an interconnected web and of these groups, right? And it'll make you look at society totally different. Like all these tactics that are being used, this is something that has really had a lot of time and resources and effort put into it to try to break down an individual psychologically and on different levels, you know what I mean? And it's like a slow kill program. That's really what this is. So that's why I always say, like, if you're alive and just able to exist and be here and have the strength to just keep pushing no matter what, that in itself, that's a win. You know what I mean? That in itself is something to be grateful for, because a lot of TIs didn't make it. And like I said in my last video, like, I don't speak on this to push fear. I'm not trying to sound like I'm stuck in some, loop and I'm talking about the same things, but this is the truth. I mean, you can spin it any way you want, but the truth is going to be the truth. And it's the truth because a lot of TIs speak on these same tactics. And when you look at the organized stalking and gang stalking, a lot of it is the same tactics that are used. It's just they kind of, tweak what they do, the tactics, depending on who you are and your personality. That's why there are TIs from different social groups. You know what I mean? This is it's like an experimentation in a sense as well, to where they get TIs and target individuals from different social groups to do this too. And but back to what I was saying, the way that I honestly knew, like, this is from me going through my targeting for some time now. The way I knew that law enforcement, and it was a higher entity or authoritative figure that was playing a role in my targeting, was because it was always, the synchronizations were always so on point. Like, I could leave my house, even walking, not even like driving, walking. And like, for example, just today, I just decided to leave on foot. And I go and on a street that I don't even frequent that much because I switch up my routines. A car just comes around the corner with one headlight and me just riding slow, like a bald Caucasian perp. So I seen that and I was just kind of like, wow, like, even something so mundane, a simple task, whatever opportunity they have to perp you and show you the tactics, and you won't even be expecting them. I'm not saying I went out of my way to see what's gonna happen. I really wasn't worried about that, because I've been going through this for more than like 5 years. That I woke up to it around 2020, But one of the first things and major events that happened involving the perping was the flyover helicopter perping, which was in 2014 through 2015. But I didn't think nothing of it. And I had to make the connection after I realized what organized stalking was. So I believe I was actually born into this. I believe that, my family and other individuals connected to them have been involved in things like this for a long time, because a lot of the same tactics perpetrators on the streets would use is the same thing my family was employing against me, as well as people in this community. So in a way, it's kind of like, it makes you realize a big portion of your life was set up, especially if you had like a grandfather or somebody close to you. For example, like with me, my grandfather passed. He was pretty well off. He had the money, he had the resources. And it's just like, I don't have the proof, but I sometimes just think about the way things happened. I was too young to, put up any arguments about his will or whatever he was leaving behind. But all I gotta say is, we didn't get shit. I didn't get shit. And not that I know of, I didn't see my people get anything. But the way these people work is, they're these are criminal minded individuals. So they're gonna kill, steal, and destroy. That's what they go by. So anything that was left to you anyways, if you're a TI and you've had somebody close to you pass, if my people were involved in it, I guarantee you they worked with these people to, take whatever it was, even if there was something. And not only that, but I made the connections, whereas like my people were perping me, but yet you put a life insurance policy on me and then take me to sign it when I was like too young to even realize what was really going on. I was still in high school. So it's kind of like, imagine people who never gave a shit about you taking you to sign a life insurance policy and then put themselves as a beneficiary. And you're younger than them. Like, to me, that's like putting a hit on somebody. That's like waiting for somebody to just pass so you could collect a check. But, I'm going off of the point I want to follow. It's just going through this program for a long time has showed me how much, law enforcement, these Freemasons, all these people, it seems to be people in higher positions of authority that are involved in this, especially if you live in a neighborhood where it's nothing but, veterans, people with Freemason stickers, Air Force, Army. They have the flags in their front yard. They have the license plates. A lot of ex-police officers, sheriffs, and things like that. If you live in a neighborhood like that, it makes it easier for these people to do these type of things. And not too far from here, there's actually a Masonic Lodge. So, I view a Masonic Lodge as that's just like a perping checkpoint. That's like a gang stalker's, headquarters. That's all that is. But one thing I just wanted to say with this video is that, over time from going through this program, you'll realize that this is a program that's facilitated by people in positions of authority. And this is a program that will get everybody around you involved. And a lot of the time, some people probably don't even believe the slander they're saying about you, but people are already jealous of you in some cases and never liked you anyway, so they're just going to join in because it's more convenient for them to get out their insecurities and project it onto you. So that's why I say to the TIs and targeted individuals out there, never take these people seriously, like their projections. And these are like children in adult bodies. That's what I had to learn. When I had my own mother come up against me and people, she's in touch with and family members and relatives, which I haven't been around my family in years, my outer family and relatives. You know, I cut these people off because I realized they're weirdos. You know, they're a part of this shit. And I had to realize that these are a lot of reprobate-minded people. So if you don't party, if you don't drink or do drugs, you know, if you don't like base people's value on what they have materialistically or in a monetary way, like how much money they have, then like these are people that you shouldn't be around. You know what I mean? And I had to realize that. You know, people will really set you up. And that's how this gang stalking program goes. You know, a lot of these people are more loyal to the coven, or they're more loyal to these cults and organizations and groups they're in than their own children. These people will put up their own children for sacrifices. That's how deep this goes. A lot of people think that sacrifice stuff only happens in the music industry or in Hollywood or these industries. No, this happens to everyday people in real life. Like, this world is not what a lot of people think it is. It's not. A lot of these people are involved in sick shit, but they're out here walking among me and you, playing like they're normal people, like they're regular people. There's nothing normal about getting in your car and then going to somebody's location to show them that you're watching them, monitoring them. You know, go and perp them. There's nothing normal about hiding the license plates from your cars and putting one headlight on your car and all these, you know, tactics psychologically. There's nothing normal about any of that. Hopping in a damn helicopter to fly over somebody, like, that's why I say the type of evil and worldly and reprobate-minded these people are, it's almost inhuman to me. Like, how could people be this evil? That's why organized stalking and gang stalking, it's hard for people to believe, because some people, the sheep, they're so, like, programmed and gullible that they can't even comprehend the evil of this world. And they think they know something, but they don't. They really think they know how deep this shit goes, but they really don't, because they're not going through it themselves. And then you got the people out there who are actually perps, but they're going to pretend like they don't know what's going on. They're going to deny what you're saying because they're the same ones enabling it or a part of it. So like I said, like, in this society, from what I've seen, it seems like a lot of authoritative figures. I'm not saying every authoritative figure, but from what I've seen, it seems like a lot of authority figures work with criminals. They'll work with your family. They'll work in your communities. They'll work with all these people to be a part of your organized stalking and gang stalking against you and the targeting. And I'm not telling you no groundbreaking information that I found out, but in this one, I'm just kind of just summarizing some of my thoughts that I have from day to day. That's what this channel is too. But like I said, at the end of the day, this is real life. You know, I know some people like to claim this is a simulation and those things. That's cool and all, but I think it gets real when you're really out here trying to survive and make it, and then you got your own family teaming up with a community full of weirdos and all these cults and all these crooked, you know, police and all these people to try to take you out. And at the same time, like, people are trying to gaslight you like you're not seeing what you're seeing. To me, that's pretty real. It feels real. Like I said, if you're not going through it, then you're probably of the world. The world loves people who are of the world. But real ones know. Real ones go through it because they know what time it is, what times we're in. See y'all, take care out there, man.